Welcome to She Speaks by Atleta Filipina, our conversations with Filipina champions, co-presented by Modest. Lakas ng confidence with Modest kasi pag meron na you, Modest got you. We want to have candid conversations with our athletes on their struggles, wins, and secrets to excellence to inspire everyone to push limits, rise stronger, and win their own battles in life. I'm Bigo, your host. And to introduce our guest for today's episode, she is a Filipino professional basketball player who played for the Ateneo Lady Eagles, and she has been part of the Gilas Filipinas national team and the women's team, contributing to the 3x3 team in the FIBA Asia 3x3 Cup and on the 5-on-5 team in the FIBA Asia Cup in 2023. Now she plays for Australia's NBL 1 Central with the Southern Tigers. So let us welcome Jhaz Joson. Hi, Jazz.
Hello. Hello.
Nice to finally see you again, but then on
Yes.
on cam naman this
Yeah.
time. So, to start She Speaks, we usually start it with a very light and fun question so that we get to know more about you as well outside basketball. So your question for today is: if your life would be a song, what would it be and why?
God, if my life would be a song. Hmm. I don't know. It got to be a party song because you just got to enjoy life. Wait, can I look at my playlist?
Yeah, right
Okay,
now,
wait,
for
wait, wait.
sure. I love it. Playlist revealed by our
Let me
athletes.
see. Okay, let me see. You know the song "Good Life" by One Republic?
Oh, do you want to sing it? Like just a little bit. Ah,
No, I can
sample.
play it.
All right, play.
So it goes
Oh,
like, it's got to be a good life, good life, good.
yes.
Yeah,
I like that. Oh, yes. I
yeah.
also have that on my run playlist because I put my playlist on like the upbeat mix of Spotify. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that's my trick to discovering new songs.
Nice.
But
That's good.
But yes, thanks, Jazz. And I'm sure that we're gonna talk about like how you most probably just enjoy basketball, right? So
Yeah.
that's why you've been in this sport for a very long time. So to talk about your journey, like you came from US in California,
hmm
then moved to the Philippines. So how did that opportunity come up?
Well, I don't know. I think you've heard that I was born in the Philippines, and then we migrated when I was 7. My dad has been in the States for a while, so he was always focused on my brother playing basketball, and then we would be in like different sports. So when my dad kind of showed us all the sports and we went to a park. We played basketball and then I played and he saw me play and then he saw my potential. So after that, like he just took me on different trainings. I went to different high schools to play basketball. And then I remember that my junior year, I was not eligible to play because of my transfer. So yeah, so the assistant coach from Ateneo has reached out to my dad asking if I wanted to play in the Philippines. And since all my offers were gone, I said, why not? Let's try Philippines. So I gave it a try. I flew to to the Philippines on my birthday. I remember it on my birthday. And I tried out for Ateneo and LaSalle. So yeah, so it's been a hell of a story. It's been a great ride with, playing in the States for high school, AAU teams. Very different style of playing basketball there compared to the Philippines. The Philippines, they're very aggressive, the players there. They're not intimidated by other players. Yeah, so basically it's rough. It's pretty rough in the Philippines, but I was able to adjust within those years I've had with Ateneo. But yeah, just training with different trainers in Ateneo and being able to adapt my game to what's expected me to do in Ateneo.
Yeah, how long did you play for Ateneo?
I started 2017, coming into 2018, I think, somewhere around that time. And then the pandemic happened. So I finished 2023 at five
Yeah.
years.
Oh yeah, and
So
then now
yeah.
you're playing in Australia. Really? So
Yeah.
was there also like an adjustment there? Like, I'm sure like
Hmm.
you've heard the phrase that, basketball unites, but there are also like some challenges
Hmm.
in adjusting. Like there's different cultures. So can you talk about like that
Yeah.
basketball
Yeah.
culture in Australia?
Hmm. Yeah. So in the Philippines, my position was, well, at first they wanted me to be a big, like post player, big player. I'm like, no, I'm a guard because that's how I played in the States. So now that I moved here to Australia to play, now I get to play my game, but it's very different and very difficult. And like what you said, I have to adjust to the culture, to how they train, to how they play, because these are big girls. They're humongous. Like they're the minimum height I would say that plays on teams here in Australia would be around 5'9". Like that's the height. And I'm only like what, 5'6". So it's very difficult, especially adjusting to how I play. Because in the Philippines, I'm a guard, I'm a point guard, and I take quick shots because, not the players in the Philippines is not as big as here in Australia. So I have better, I have better way of shooting. Maybe not even, not, I wouldn't say easier, but it's more, um, I can do it better than here in Australia because here they're so big. So I have to kind of adjust my position. I have to go further. I have to be quicker. So all of that, like I had to adjust and train even better and more for, for preparation here in Australia.
Yeah, and in terms of culture, in the Philippines, it's so crazy. Like everyone's
Hmm.
just basketball craze. What is it
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
transitioning to Australia where, well, I think in Australia they do celebrate a lot of sports, but
Hmm.
basketball isn't like the most popular one.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. It's not. No, they don't really focus a lot on basketball. Actually, fun fact, they don't even train that much here. They only train twice a week, three at most, and then you do your weight on your own. So yeah, they really focus on balancing their life and profession.
Do you enjoy that?
I do, but I think I was like trained to work out every day, lift most of the time during the week. I was always used to training hard every day and there's no break. I would say the only break is Sunday. So here it's pretty chill, but again, I'm not used to it. So I try to get my workout in. I run in the morning, try to lift like 4 times a week. So yeah, I'm not used to it. It's good, it's fun, it's relaxing, keeps me sane, but I'm not used to it. So yeah.
And you're staying alone, right?
Right now I'm staying with the host family. So it's not
Oh,
too bad. Yeah, it's not too bad.
how's that?
It's good. I have my own life. I mean, they do their own thing. They have work every day. So I just do whatever. I have freedom here, so I'm grateful for that.
That's interesting because most of our athletes who end up playing abroad, like, in the B
Hmm.
League or the volleyball
Hmm.
players when they play in
Hmm.
Japan, right? They get assigned to some dormitory, but then for
Hmm.
you, it's a host. It's the first time I've heard
Yeah.
an athlete stay with a host
Yeah.
family.
They give you options. They give you an option to stay alone or to stay with someone else. So I think if I stay by myself, I'll be a little, I'll be a little scared.
Yeah, that's for
Yeah.
sure. Like, so have you been to Australia or Adelaide before you actually moved there?
No, no, I've never been to Adelaide. I've only been to Perth and Sydney.
Ah, yeah. So
Yeah.
at least like it's a new city to discover while
Yeah.
also pursuing your
Yep.
basketball career. And I guess like I want to go back to your early years, like starting out
Mm.
in basketball, whether it's when you were in still in the US, or like
Mm,
if you experienced this in when you were playing for the collegiate league, but are there
mm,
any like limitations that in opportunities that you experience
mm.
playing women's basketball, and how did that shape your journey?
Um, well, to be honest, in the States, there were more, I guess, there were more opportunities for women's for basketball. I wouldn't say it's how it is like right now compared to now. It's nothing compared to now. But, I was getting opportunities here and there. There was different leagues like Park and Rec. Um, it wasn't that limited like in the Philippines. So, yeah, like I was able to just play everywhere, and we didn't have that much like supporters then, maybe even fans. Like even in high school, like not a lot of people watch. But no, I think the opportunities in the States was fairly better than the Philippines for me.
Yeah, but at least like in the Philippines, you were also called up to play for Gilas
Yeah,
Women's. Yeah,
yeah,
how
yeah.
like what is that feeling? Could you go take us back to that time where you were first called up to play for the national
Mhm.
team?
Honestly, I wasn't expecting anything because I really just came back to the Philippines after pandemic just to finish my last playing years. But no, I wasn't expecting it. But when I got called, I was super happy, super grateful because, like I worked so hard after the pandemic just to be able to, be like, I guess, get better to where, because before I sucked. Like, I wouldn't say I suck, but like, I wasn't really focused on basketball. I was doing whatever. So yeah, so I was so happy and grateful that I was able to get called.
Yeah, it's like when you're here in the Philippines, it's like basketball is really life,
Mm,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and what were your takeaways from the national team? Maybe like some highlights as well
Mm,
that you really treasure.
For me, would be the veterans of the national team. The way I play now, it's because also I've learned from the veterans, the ones who were older than me, who played the game more than me. So I've basically, I'm so sorry. There's a dog here.
It's
Basically,
okay.
I've, I took all their advice on basketball and in life, and I took that with me till this day. So without them, like I think I would have had a harder time like playing in my basketball career.
With the national team, I'm sure like you've also like experienced like traveling to
Mm,
many places
mm,
representing the flag. So what
mm.
was it like playing for Gilas Women's? Like I'm you were you able to connect with the OFW crowd in every place you visited?
Um, for 3-on-3, I did. For 5-on-5 in Sydney back in 2023. I think I did. Yeah, they're very supportive, even if like, the our team wasn't up there, like even if we only won one game. Yeah, one game. Yeah. They were still there. They were still supporting. So I think the Filipino community is very loyal to their own country. But for 3-on-3, there was a lot of people, like a lot of Filipinos that would come to our games and watch. But yeah, very different.
Yeah. What about there in the in Adelaide? Were you able to connect with some Filipinos?
hmm Um, you know, our season hasn't started yet, but there were already Filipinos that was contacting me on my Instagram, like saying, "Hey, welcome to Adelaide. It's so lovely for you to be here. We can't wait for you to play this and that." So yeah, very lovely Filipino community.
Oh, that's so
Yeah.
sweet.
Yeah, and I haven't even played yet, and they're already like telling me like, "Oh yeah, we're so excited for you to be here." I'm like, "Oh wow." So,
Yeah. When's your season starting?
end of March.
Oh, that's great. So you
Yeah.
got like more
Yeah.
than a month to prepare as we record this on the
Yeah.
end of February. All right.
Yeah.
So moving on to our discussion. So a part of She Speaks by Atleta Filipina, we are actually unpacking this phrase. I'm sure you've heard it when you're in the Philippines. It's yung babae kasi. So this is a phrase that is often said casually. It's often very dismissive, but it actually carries so much weight because like
Mm-hmm.
as women, when we receive like this kind of remark, we not only get hurt, but it
Mm-hmm.
also can affect our confidence. And this season, we're really dedicated to unpack this phrase because we are actually building a space of power in sports and in media. So I just want to ask you that in your journey, was there a moment that you were reduced to this phrase, babae kasi?
Mm, maybe when I was about to start or maybe when we migrated, my dad expected my brother to play basketball. I didn't think he expected me to play basketball because he was the only son in the family. That with in term well in basketball, my basketball career, I didn't really feel, or um maybe the fans weren't watching the women's basketball enough. They would only watch the men's team. That for me, that experience is very depressing because they only watch the men's team, and us, we don't even get to cover our Araneta, like the patron, it's not full. But yeah, no, I don't, I feel like I've experienced a lot of people who appreciates men's basketball more than women's basketball. So I think that's one of my experiences.
Yeah, I would totally agree as well. Just covering UAP basketball also,
Mm,
like when I was just sharing that when I was employed, we would employed in a full-time media company. You know the
mm,
direction would be, it's okay, like women's basketball you can go if
mm,
you want to. It's like if you want to, some
mm,
sort of like a
mm,
token coverage, but of course
mm.
our focus is
Yep.
men's basketball. You better submit your breaking news
Yeah.
in a minute.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
Yep.
sort of thing.
Yep.
But do you think that it has changed so far?
It has, and I'm happy that it changed a lot actually when I was playing in Ateneo back in 2018. There was not a lot of coverage for the women's basketball, but now, there's few times, actually a lot of times where we were covered by what, TV5? Is it TV5 or no, Filipinas Live? We were covered by that. So I'm just happy and grateful that, they're giving us a chance to showcase the women's basketball talent, to prove everyone that we can play too. It's not just a game of, for the men's team. The basketball is not just for the men's team. So yeah.
Yeah, it took years for the leaders in women's basketball to actually
Mm-hmm.
lobby for media coverage, even live
Mm-hmm.
stream. But for it to be accessed now on everyone's phone, I think it's great. Like
Mm-hmm.
we're really growing the sport. Young girls seeing you,
Mm-hmm.
Jazz Joson,
Yep.
play in
Yep.
through yeah, right, like through the screens of their iPad or their phones. I
Yeah.
think that really makes a good impact. And
Mm-hmm.
but did you also have to feel like as an athlete that you have to prove yourself more as a woman, or you have to kind of turn off your emotions?
I wouldn't say turn off my emotions. I'm very emotional as a person.
Yeah.
No, I was affected, I would say, not just for me, but for the women's, for our like community. I was affected because it was unfair. Why is the men's team getting more attention than women when we're working as hard as them? Just because we can't touch the rim, touch the board doesn't mean we're not working our butts off in the morning, 6 a.m., playing what, UAP at 8 a.m. The men's team don't do that. So I think the sacrifices that we've done, it's fair enough for us to have the same coverage as the men's team, or maybe like close to them at least. So yeah.
Yeah, I love it. Like, how do you make yourself continue to be authentic also as an athlete?
Mm,
Because I think a lot of female athletes, especially in the Philippines, like they get told off. Like me, even me, like growing up as a female athlete, we get told off that,
mm,
oh, don't cry, don't be too emotional. That's too
uh,
OA. So, what advice could
yeah.
you give women, female athletes especially, to like continue being their authentic
Mm.
selves?
Really, it depends on your support system for me. I think girls are, I think it's valid for women to be emotional because it's how we are. But I don't think being emotional will affect, us working our butts off to reach that dream. It's just us being emotional. It's because we want it bad. The guys might not show their emotions, but we're working as hard as them. So I think my advice would be just turn off whatever that's surrounding you, all that negativity. And if you're being emotional, just take it all in and then just move on. Move on, like what they say in basketball, next play. So that's my advice.
Oh my gosh, I love that. Next play. So
Yeah.
true. We just have to cancel out the noise and next play. Oh,
Hmm.
I'll use that. Jazz,
Yeah.
thank you. Next play.
Yeah.
She Speaks by Atleta Filipina Season 3 is co-presented by Modest. All day confidence even on red days. Be worry-free from leaks and skin irritation thanks to its clinically tested non-irritant cover that's also hypoallergenic. Lakas ng confidence with Modest. Kasi pag meron na you, Modest got you. Yeah, and I guess like as part of our experience as female athletes as well is, of course, we get to experience pain, injuries, and
Mm,
even our
mm,
menstrual cycles. So,
mm,
where does babae kasi show up in that, and how do we
mm,
find freedom and not pause our progress?
mm. When men started coaching the women's basketball, or at least my sport, when we have our menstrual cycle period, they're like, "Oh, it's just it's just your period. It's normal. Just take meds." No, it's not. It's first of all, it's painful. It really messes up your hormones, so your feelings or your emotions are going up and down. So, but it's getting better. When I started playing for Ateneo, I don't think I experienced any of that. Even my last playing year, they definitely understood what us women, we have those differences with the men's. So they really understood that. But when we have the period, we have this and that, we have problems, it affects us, but once we're on the court, we kind of push that away. And yeah, we might take painkillers because we want to be on the court, we want to train, we want to play. So we don't really hinder from the things that we do just because we have our own problems, period, etc., all that stuff. Even me, like when I have my period, it's so bad. Like when I'm in training, actually, right now, like I went for a run, even if I'm not feeling well, just because I want to pursue and I want to get better every day. So I think for the women, that's what they do also every day.
Yeah, and I think now that there's more studies on women's health, on our menstrual
Hmm.
cycle, especially for female athletes,
Hmm.
is anything new being applied there in Australia since you've been playing there in the last 2 years?
Hmm. No, no, I don't think they really notice anything about the like. I think it's just normal for them. If they have period, they play. It's just normal for them.
It
So
must be their work-life balance, as you said
yeah, yeah,
earlier.
that's yeah. I think it is.
Everyone needs that. I would love to have
Mm-hmm.
work-life balance. Just kidding. Yeah. All right. And okay, so let's move on to also discussing about the bigger picture also of women's
Mm-hmm.
basketball and women's
Mm-hmm.
sports. So you have really seen the growth of women's basketball in the country. So how has
Mm-hmm.
being part of this growth shape your
Mhm.
perspective and your purpose in your career?
Brings me joy, honestly. It brings me happiness, especially in the Philippines. It's a third world country, so we don't really get much of what other countries get, like exposure, being able to play collegiate, being able to play for club teams, this and that. But now that even Nike is helping out the women's generation, putting everyone out there. We have the girls got game. We have that. We have a lot of platforms now for the women's basketball, which I'm so happy about. UAAP is also getting bigger for the women's. And Jack Animam is overseas. We have other Filipinos that are playing overseas. Even the 3x3 team is going up there. And I'm not sure if you heard, but the one of the stops is in Manila for 3x3 for FIBA. It's like a women's series. So one of the stops is going to be in Manila, which is big for our country. But yeah, we're getting more opportunities every day in the Philippines, which I'm so happy about. And I'm just glad that I was able to, um, you know, pursue this dream that I have, which is playing overseas. And I want to set an example for the younger ones that, like it's not just me who can do it, you can do it too. Um, and I think that one day, I think it's possible for, a lot of women in the Philippines who can play overseas. So, I mean,
Yeah.
if I mean, yeah, right? Even WNPBL is growing, and I would hope that it would grow more and more each year. So the girls or the women wouldn't have to leave the country. You know what I mean? Um, and I hope that WNPBL would be able to help out the women community there in the Philippines.
Yeah, for sure. And I like what you said that there are many companies also like Nike coming in
Mm-hmm.
to support
Mm-hmm.
the women's basketball
Mm-hmm.
community in the Philippines. But I think it's because like the leaders behind it, we have Mariana Lopa, and
Mm-hmm.
in SBP we
Yeah,
have Miss
exactly.
Erica D also,
Mm-hmm.
and you guys, Jack,
Mm-hmm.
and you are playing abroad. So how important is it to have
Mm-hmm.
women in leadership in sports?
It's very important, especially now that, younger kids are following your footsteps. You know what I mean? Um, I just want to do my best and, show the kids there in the Philippines that it's possible to have a dream and it's possible to reach that dream. But yeah, no, like nothing in life is going to be easy, but as long as you work hard for it, it's reachable. And yeah, like I just want the girls to be able to see uh, what I'm doing, what I do for this dream I have, which is to play overseas and being an example or a leader. I'm still growing as a person. I'm still learning from from a lot of people. So I mean, that's what I love the most is when I play for different countries and different teams, I'm able to adapt and learn more about basketball and this and that and how to get better. So yeah.
Yeah, and I think we've seen also that Filipina athletes, like Filipina basketball players, are also
Mm,
being highly recruited to
mm,
play overseas, like you, like
mm.
Jack, like
Yeah,
Aliana Lim as well. But
yeah.
what
We
other
have Hazel
challenges?
Yam.
Yeah, right. So how what are the
Yeah.
other challenges that we don't see in Filipinas being able to pursue a basketball dream abroad?
Other challenges in the Philippines?
Or like what are the barriers to that prevent like Filipinas from
Mm,
actually getting a
playing overseas?
international career? Yeah, like that.
I wouldn't say names, but I've heard someone who was recruited to play actually out here in Australia. And I think being so used to, that type of culture in the Philippines, of course, you would be scared to step out of your comfort zone, which is to go to a different country with a different culture or the language barrier. Um, it's hard, especially if you're family oriented. It's hard to move to a different country all on your own. So I think there are a lot of a lot of things that you would worry about if you leave the country, but yeah, it's tough. It's pretty tough. I'm not family oriented. I'm very independent. That's why it's easy for me to like, move around. But these girls have opportunities to go outside of the country, but sometimes they're too scared to, or maybe like go out of their comfort zone because it's not what they're used to or what they know.
Yeah, so even like for even our OFWs, it takes a lot
Mm,
of sacrifice as
mm,
well to be
yeah.
away from the family. And but then you also said that you had to have a very good support system, right? So can you talk about what that
Mm,
support system is like for you? How has your family and
mm.
friends helped you in your career?
Well, my family has always, well, now my parents are letting me do what I want to do to play basketball. But before they were always like, you gotta get a real job now. But now that they've supported me, yeah, yeah. Now that they're supporting me to play basketball, pursue this as my career, it really makes me happy. But no, my friends are amazing. They push me to my very best. Even if I say, oh yeah, no, I don't want to go back. Like it's gonna be hard. Like I'm gonna be like sad again, this and that. Like, no, Jazz, go for it. Like this is not something that you get every day. So yeah, so they just support me to do what I want, and even if I'm far away from them, and even Filipino community here in Adelaide or in Australia in general, very supportive, very nice, and Australia is beautiful. So I mean, I don't have no problem with people out here. They're very generous.
Yeah, definitely still a blessing to be there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And you also shared a lot of like where Philippine basketball could go in the future. So
Hmm.
what are like some
Hmm.
conversations and even some dreams that you have with you and your
Hmm.
teammates and your friends in the basketball community
Hmm.
for the Philippines? Like what is your hope?
My hope is, man, the men's team, they're playing who, Australia? I think they're playing Australia. I'm not sure if you know the men's team. Yeah, they're playing.
Yeah.
But for the women's 3-on-3, I don't know if you know, 3-on-3 has the potential and chance to make it to the Olympics in 2028.
8. Yeah.
Now, my dream is for that program to thrive and just make it to Olympics, just to showcase what Philippine basketball is. And once people see that, I think the Philippine country or the women's basketball, not even the men's, like the women's basketball would definitely be seen by other countries. And I would hope from there that it would just boom, like we just go up.
Yeah, and it's been a very long time since we've seen Philippine basketball
Mm,
in the Olympics as well. So for
yeah,
our women's
yeah,
program to be there would
yeah.
be super historic. And 2028 is just 2 years
Mm.
away. It's
Around the
possible.
corner, yeah. Yeah, it's very near. Yep.
Yeah, we hope to see you there. Olympian. Yeah. So, so yeah, and also like I guess being a part of like your role mod, you being a role model, playing in Australia, being
Mhm.
part of Gilas Pilipinas. So, what did you realize about your role in opening doors for the next generation?
My role
Yeah.
is, I guess, very important. Like before, I don't think girls or the younger ones were not really focused on, pursuing basketball as a career. Before they were so like, oh yeah, you got to study, we got to study because after college, we're done, you know. But since there's professional league for in the Philippines and they see more of the older generation playing out of the country, I think that's their hope to play also outside of Philippines to have that career that they want instead of settling for something that they don't want. So I think my role is very important because it also gives them I would say like a leap just like it gives them, I would say, confidence that they'll be able to do it as long as I'm doing it.
Yeah, you know how they say that women these days have a lot more options, right? Like, if you're gonna go
Yeah.
back to history, it's always like, oh, you study, you graduate, you get married. But
Mm,
now I believe that, like,
mm,
thanks to women's sports, also, like, women can dream to be athletes.
mm,
And I
yeah.
think, like, that's so important and so historical as well. Yeah.
Mm,
So right now, Jazz, we're gonna go into the Atleta Filipina rapid fire segment. So if you see this box, like, and wondering what is it doing there, but
yeah.
this box actually has some list of questions, like, but
Oh,
it's
okay.
just, yeah, it's just fun questions for this season. We're doing this or that. So I'm just
Okay.
gonna read out the questions, and you just pick which one. So are you ready?
Yep. Go ahead.
Yeah, just yeah, to make things just fun. Okay. Ooh, this one. Are you a nurturer or a challenger?
A challenger.
Challenger.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, here. Rewrite the narrative or break it entirely.
Rewrite the narrative.
All right. Okay. This is quite fun. I like your questions. Okay. Ooh, confidence or competence?
Mm, competence.
Competence. Yeah. Let's go skills. Okay. Oh, here. Do you train through pain or listen to your body?
Train
Guilt-
through pain.
Guilty. All right. Are you someone who's more assertive or diplomatic?
Ooh, assertive.
All right. Ooh. Okay. Take space or read the room?
Read the room.
Read the room.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, the last one. Oh, would you silence critics or do a clap back?
I would do a clap back.
Ah, all right. I love it. All right. So thank you. Thank you, Jazz. Like, that was the Atleta
Yay.
Filipina rapid fire. And so we're going to the end of the episode. Can you just share an encouragement to our listeners and viewers?
Encouragement. Let me think. Something nice. Um, can I say this one like for the women's?
Yeah.
Okay, for the women's community, I just want to say that um, as loud as these haters, even though they have these negativity on our lives, they may push you around. They might tell you not to do this, not to do that. But whatever you have in your, deep in your heart, whatever you want to do and what you want to pursue, push through it because, nothing is impossible, regardless of what they say. It's your life, it's your body. You just do whatever you want and do it.
Yeah, let's go. Just do it. Oh, thank you so much, Jazz, for your time and also like letting us see like what it's like in Australia based on your screen. Yeah.
Yes. As you can see,
Yeah.
very bright sun, nice breeze. Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah, and most of all, thank you for sharing your stories and even your encouragements.
Of
And you
course.
are such an inspiration to many young women and girls in the sport. Yeah, so
Thank you
to
so much. Thank you so much for having me.
yes. All right. So to our listeners and viewers, follow us at Atleta Filipina on our social media accounts to catch more She Speaks episodes and our features on Filipina athletes like Jazz. Again, this season is co-presented by Modest. Lakas ng confidence with Modest. Kapag meron na you, Modest got you. I'm Vigo and thank you for tuning in. Bye.
Thank you.